Good afternoon from all Marshes. Yes, a change of scenery for me. Elmley, yeah. I have to say, I've never been a massive fan of all Marshes. I've never come away from here with lots of great stuff, at least not regularly. I mean, when I first came here in 2000, I got a few lifers. I had a red pole and a bush over there and some other bits. But I've always sort of described it more as a scopy kind of birders area, where along this line here, none today, which is very odd, there'd be loads of people with scopes looking at all the waders, the thousands and thousands. I mean, obviously, this has Elmley beat for waders for sure. Oh, grey heron just took off. Yeah, this has Elmley beat for waders, but then you can't get close to most of the stuff. Stays out of good photographic range. Whereas with Elmley, if you're going along the track, you know, it can be right there outside the window. So it's, you know, you probably get some birds here, which is weird that you don't get over in Elmley. But again, they're going to be scoped. And a lot of the social media does the work for you. You know, if somebody says I've been to war on social media, Twitter, Facebook, you can see their photos and then, yeah, I mean, you know, you saw that, great, but it's, you know, it's all the way over there. It wasn't frame filling. And also there's no cover here. I mean, there's a hide or two, but sometimes on these hides you see nothing. It's like the reeds don't show anything. At least with Elmley, you can stay in your car, cover a lot of ground, go out to Well Marsh, sit in there for a while, and it's all in front of you. Whereas here, it's, yeah, rain, sun. It's quite windy in comparison. Anyway, I'm crapping on it a little bit too much. sorry, all you. I'll probably get some hate from the people who say it's a great place. Yeah, it's just a little bit further than Elmley. I'm just giving you all the reasons I don't come here. Yeah, and again, like same with the raptors. You do get the raptors here, but again, they don't just fly over the car like they would at Elmley. You certainly don't get the owls until maybe they're always coming out in the morning or in the evening, and I'm here in the afternoon. Whereas at Elmley, there's a good possibility you will see them in the afternoon, especially the little owls. So anyway, so far we have seen some golden plover. That's it's not a tick, but I haven't seen them for a while, since last year, and they're golden plumage. They're in their dark summer plumage now. So hopefully we'll get some once this heat haze dies down. I've done a bit of filming, and there are thousands of birds out there. Hopefully we'll get a flyby from the golden plover, or at least a closer shot. We're going to go over to the water. Hopefully the tide isn't in yet. I've timed it so that the tide is on its way in to force birds in. And hopefully we might see the Bonaparte's gull for an improvement on the picture I took, I think 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So, and hopefully I did get some good golden plover photos out about 3 years ago. So my longer lens, I should get some even better ones now. So yeah, when you get here, there are reports of turtle doves. I'm not 100% sure. I think they're over back a bit, inland a bit, over this way on, but what you get when you get here is loads of collared doves, and they throw you off at first. Could that be one? Could that be one? You end up looking at about 40 or 50 collared doves, hoping that's the one that's the turtle dove. So just be aware, this is a good place for collared doves. So anyway, we're going to go and park up and check out what's going on the foreshore before the tide comes in. Wow, this tide doesn't muck around. When I first got here and parked up on the main path up here, I came up here after about 5 minutes, had a look around. There was a whimbrel, and a little egret, the little egret's made its way over to I believe it's called the East Flood, where all the birds were. So there's a few little egrets now. But anyway, I've come back here, I mean, probably 45 minutes later, and it's all the way, I mean, it was like 100 feet away when I first got here. So everyone's having a picnic and pulled out the fishing rods. So yeah, we're waiting for some cloud cover before I go for a walk, because I don't want to fry. A little bit windy. Again, you know, like I said back there, nothing major. I mean, what have we seen? Spoonbill, single spoonbill. I got some semi-decent footage when it stuck its beak out for a preen. And tried to get some more golden plover footage. I tried to get a few flight shots. I saw them take off. I got one that's semi-okay with 3 of them in the air. Then some yellow wagtail showed up on the mud.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are they called yellow or are they? I've seen them down in Devon. The baby one.
And a distant marsh area. They said that this year one pair has bred. So it was quite distant. Maybe it'll make its way over. But it's not going to be to Elmley standards. Yeah, yeah, I remember this from last year, from years gone by. Pied wagtail hunt down here for insects. So maybe we might see some, I don't know about the wind, we might see some bearded tits. Is that a chetties? I think that might have been a chetties back there. Maybe some sort of lizards. They used to sun themselves on the wooden benches on years gone by when I've got photos of them. So yeah, glad I came. Change of scenery. I'm hoping, I might be a bit distant, but the osprey that's being seen at Elmley recently has been along the swell. You never know, we might get a sighting of that if we're very, very, very lucky. So that's the, so any update? Oh yeah, just some rough, a couple of rough in there. I think a juvenile, there was a smaller one that I thought it might be something else, but it had the right feather patterning and short beak for a rough. So it's probably a juvenile. So far so good. Yeah, we're halfway round now and there's nothing here. I heard one bird chirp and saw one linnet. And I distinctly remember saying the last time I was at Oare Marshes and I'd finished up, I said, no hurry to come back here again. Controversial. Yeah, it's just not Elmley. What can I say? No. We're gonna head home. We'll probably give it an hour or so. Give it a chance of one more hour. Something flitting around over there, probably a reed warbler. Oh, at the end of the day, it's a nice change of scenery. I mean, this feels like the track at Elmley, because by the time you walk down to Wellmarsh, you'd have already heard reed warblers, sedge warblers, possible bearded tits, reed buntings. You'd have seen things flying over the top, gulls and curlews, common terns. No, sorry, I've never really had any luck here. Just keeping it real, Pete, for anybody that wants to know. Yeah, not a single thing. So I think we'll not really waste any more time. I think what I read online, I typed in Oare last night into Twitter and now X, formerly Twitter, and read up what people were saying about Oare. And I think it's people who are able to get out in the morning. I mean, I'm not going to see stuff in the morning, in the evening, being a night man. I have to do my birding in the afternoon, early evening, and a lot of stuff will be gone by then, unless I get lucky. But in these morning birders that go out, I mean, they funny enough, they don't post pictures. So what I'm assuming, they're either just hardcore birders. There was something. Hardcore birders who just scope and note the birds from a mile away, because they've got these like 3 grand Swarovski scopes, and they're seeing everything in they're scanning every patch of reeds around the centre there, and they're spending some time doing that, and they are able to see everything, but it's not, you know, photographable. So yeah, I mean, I'd say somebody did a guy I was just speaking to a chap there, come over from Warton-on-Thames, I think he said. He asked if there's anywhere else, and I said, apart from Elmley, this is about as good as it's going to get. So, you know, unless you go to Stodmarsh, other than that, what have you got? You know, for sort of sheer numbers, you'd have to go down to Dungeness or Rye. But it's the time of year, it's windy, and yeah, this is, I mean, this is all you're going to get. Especially as it hasn't rained for a while. It's quite dry. Everything, all the river beds and ponds have dried up. So this is the Oare hide, the main hide, on the south side of the flood. And as you can see, there's not much going on. It's always been like this. I would always expected there to have been like a pond here, right in the front, but it's just further away from the actual birds. I mean, no bird song, nothing. God, I'm really destroying all here. Yeah, I don't think any of the main birders who come here come to this hide really, unless it's raining and they just want to get out there. They just stay over to the left, watching the birds and hoping they come closer, and something spooks them up into the air. Right, so I'm going to call it quits now. Probably been here about 2.5, 3 hours. I've tried all the parts of the reserve and nothing much happening. It's the same as last time. The only thing of note now from the last sort of half an hour has been a couple of juvenile little grebes calling on the parent to feed them. So I recorded a little bit of that. And took some photos, seeing as what happens as usual when birds are feeding is they get a bit tame and allow you to take some closer pictures. Usually little grebes are a bit more jumpy and you can be half a mile away from them and they're still ducked down when you show up. I was probably just about 10 or 12 feet away from this one. So yeah, maybe another time when there's more rain and the wind is down, and there'll be something different to see.